All right, everybody. Welcome back to the 9th episode of the Time I Skates podcast. It's DG, it's Z, and today we got a first for this podcast. We're going to have our first ever guest in at YaBoyCoots from Flyers Twitter, so, stick around if you want to hear that conversation. It went well over 30 minutes, which is awesome, so I hope you guys enjoy that. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Flyers homestand, how they're doing so far, and then, complain a little bit about how well some other teams in our division are doing. So, Z, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, man. Excited. We had a week of Flyers hockey. I mean, they didn't play that many games, only 4 games, but it's fun and really nice to see the boys back on the ice again.
Yeah, I mean, since the season started, at least in my mind, I feel like it's been years because when hockey season's going on, it's just it seems like we've always had it, and it's literally only been 4 games, and it feels like we've been watching Flyers hockey for months already, which is great. I just love that it's back.
Yep. Same, dude. That's just we waited so long in the summer. The summer felt like so long. Maybe it's because we made so many moves and we were so excited. But
right, then we were anticipating the season and shit.
Yeah, but it's nice to see most of those players be productive in the first 4 games. Yeah,
and we'll get into that. So let's start. So the home opener, if you guys pay attention to us on Twitter and shit, we ended up going together against the Canucks. I think we sat second level, pretty much center ice second level, about 8 rows up, something like that. I'm not remembering, but I mean, what a fucking atmosphere it was to be back in the Wells Fargo Center again.
Dude, it was bumping.
I mean, it must have been 2 years almost. A little less than 2 years maybe since the last time the Wells Fargo Center was full capacity, and we were lucky enough to be able to be a part of those 30,000 fans, maybe 40.
Dude, I don't know if that many were there.
Okay, I think maybe the stadium only holds about 30.
That many, yeah. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. It was fun to see live hockey. I haven't been to a game in forever. Forget the pandemic. Even before that, it had been a while, and It was a great atmosphere, dude. It's good to see the Wells Fargo Center back, in that lively. It hasn't been great the past few years, so
yeah,
I think everyone's just excited to see this new team play.
Yeah, I agree with you. This might be a hot take. I don't know how many people agree. I think you would agree with me, but I think second level, specifically center ice, second level seats, I don't want to sit all the way in the back, but maybe first 10 rows. I think those are the most elite, underrated seats in the whole arena.
Yeah, unless you're right up against the glass or some shit, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but those prices. The prices are crazy. The fact we got tickets for under $100 each, basically. I think it might have been a little over 100
or something, right?
Yeah, plus fees and all that bullshit. But just being able to see plays develop, when you're that low to the ice, it's sick. You get to see the sweat dropping off Drew's face and all that, but you're not gonna get to see these plays develop as much as you would when you're sitting up there. And that's why the announcers sit up there too, because you can completely see the ice better than when you're ice level.
Yeah, we love that overhead view and you being able to see all 3 zones.
And dude, seeing Drew's goal from there, the game tying goal from that spot was develop. Perfect.
It was perfect. Yeah, that's the other time. That's the other thing. If you're on the side that they shoot once, you don't you have to watch the screen for 3/4 or 2/3 of the game.
Right.
And if you're on the side they shoot twice, you have to watch the screen for the second period. So it's being up top, you barely have to look at the screen unless you're watching a replay or something. You see everything live in front of you, and I think it's one of the best ways to take in the game.
Yeah, and no offense to people that have season tickets on either side of the ice, but I personally don't think I'd ever buy tickets to sit on one side or the other. Yeah, I'm either in the middle or I'm not going. I'm going to watch the game at home. I just refuse to pay that much money to not actually get to see
the entire game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And I'm lucky enough that my parents or my dad has great season tickets, and then good enough job that you and me can catch a couple games and sit second level, get tickets for less than $50 here or there. But yeah, dude, that game was great. Obviously, it kind of sucked going to the first loss of the season, overtime loss. But they fought hard that game. It was awesome. For a while, I think I was pretty down. I thought we were going to lose, but obviously, what a fucking comeback. And G calling the boards pass at the end there to tie it and ultimately get us that 1 point, which was so crucial to get every point you can.
Yeah, it was a good game. Besides, like the second period and most of the third was pretty bad, but there were some nice goals being scored. And I spent, I think, half or 3/4 of the second period in line for Chickies and Pete's Fries, where they had one person working the station that was next to our section. It's like, it was ridiculous. And I was in the line too long to leave, so I just stayed in there. And Vancouver scored 3 goals while I was in line.
Yeah, I remember just sitting there eating my pizza, waiting for you to get back. I was like, fuck, he really decided to miss. Like,
I was watching
I guess
on
it
the
was
screen.
I guess it was okay that you missed it, because I don't know if you would want to be watching that. But yeah, they scored 3 goals pretty quickly in the second, I think.
And they were all shitty bounces besides like the one snipe. But.
Yeah, I think Carter had a couple bad breaks there. But yeah, ultimately got that point.
Yep, overtime, shootout.
And another thing that we got to see was the goal song. We got to be in person for the new goal song.
Yeah.
I think, my opinion, I think, I was very active on Twitter saying that I wanted to be Dupe, and I was hoping that they were still messing with us and it would be Dupe. Ultimately didn't end up being Dupe, but I kind of like the goal song. I think it's very catchy, and I think it's something you probably need to be in person to appreciate more than just, through the mic on your TV. But it's catchy and it's a good song, and I'm completely okay with it.
Yeah.
What about you?
We talk about that later in our interview with Dalton, but
we do, yes.
Yeah, being that we heard it for the first time in person, it's probably like we have a little bit of a different outlook on it than the people on Twitter who have just been watching it on TV. But I definitely think that it's louder and bumps way more in person in the stadium.
It's so catchy, like it gets stuck in your head.
Yeah, I don't know if we could eventually do like a sort of chant along to it.
We'll figure something out.
For the bums.
Yeah, but for people that I know, some people still don't like it. I think it's something you're just going to have to get over. We're winning hockey games, which at the end of the day is literally the only thing that matters. But if you don't like it, it'll grow on you. I'm telling you, it's just one of those things. When you hear it, we've heard it 18 times in the first 4 games. So if you don't like it yet, I'm sure you'll hear it a bunch more.
Yeah, I can't remember because Twitter didn't exist when this happened. But did people hate Dupe when it first came out? You got to think there was people that hated that.
Maybe. I think maybe something that would have happened. I don't know if it did happen or not, but people might have been pissed that we took it from the Union.
The Union, yeah.
That's what ended up having us not use it anymore. But I don't know. I don't know if Twitter existed around then. Actually, it probably did. When was Twitter made? Like mid-2000s, I think. 06, 07, 08, somewhere around there.
Possibly.
Yeah. I was a squirt back then, so wasn't really on Twitter.
Yeah. But the team has looked, there's been some spurts of flashes of last year, Vietnam PTSD flashbacks we get of like this looks exactly like the team looked last year for little waves in the game. But on the whole, if you put all their play together from all 4 games, in which they did finish 2-1-1, like they put a good effort out there. And if they play the same way they played all those games for the rest of the year, you're going to have bounces go your way, or you're going to have them go against you. So I think there's like 100% a playoff team if they keep up this type of play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They had a great start to the season. I think this quote I have written down from Giroux kind of explains like how I would feel about the homestand in general, starting 2-1-1. He's quoted saying, "If you win this game," talking about Florida, "it's a great homestand. If you lose it, it's an okay one." And like that's exactly it. It was an okay start. 2-1-1's good. It's not great. You would have wanted to start 3-0-1 at home, but we'll take what we get, and it's the beginning of the season. There's a long season ahead of us, but every time there's a game when you think you could have won, you're gonna think about that for a little bit. And I think that game against Florida was 100% winnable, and it's just one we kind of let slip away.
Yeah, it was no way like out of hand or we got dominated. It was just self-inflicted, too many penalties. Like it took too many penalties and couldn't get a flow of 5-on-5 because you were taking too many penalties. So
yeah, I mean, there
I think
was
they just
no
tired
point.
themselves out and couldn't get too much going offensively because they were on the PK for most of the game.
Yeah, one of the things I think Ellis didn't play that much because I think he got banged up and was held out of the game for the most part in the second half. So that
in the
does
Florida
hurt
game,
you.
he didn't play at all.
He didn't play it. Oh, did he not? Oh, that was the game he was scratched. All right.
Yeah.
I'm talking nonsense right now. So yeah, I guess his absence was notable, I should be saying.
Yeah, but it was also like we still had a chance, like a good chance to win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you only lose a game, they lost by 2, but they lost by 1 with the empty netter.
And we scored a shorty, we let up a shorty.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're right. At any point in that game, if we wanted to win, we could have made a couple of plays that probably would have helped us or put us on top.
And Bobrovsky played really well.
He did, and so did Carter. It was a good goaltending duel.
Really well too.
It's a good game. I was pretty fucking drunk watching this game, so like I can't say too much about it because I can't. When you're drunk, you can't analyze stuff.
When you're drunk, you think Ryan Ellis is in the game for half of it.
Yeah, exactly. When you're drunk, you're delusional and think a player's playing that isn't.
Yeah.
That game, it sucks. It happens. I kind of going into it, I was like, this is one of those games where like I could just see us losing. Like we've had such good games. We beat Boston 6-3, like great game against a really good team. Like sometimes that happens.
And Florida had been like they had a hot start. They've been like bulldozing teams.
Right.
And they're 5-0. So
I mean, yeah,
may just caught them at
a bad time of the year. Well, we probably play him at least one more time, so we'll see him again.
Yeah.
I guess in their arena this time,
yeah.
but they don't really have
their
fans.
Empty-ass arena.
So I'm not too worried about that. We're used to playing in empty stands these past 2 years, so it won't be any different when we're in Florida.
Classic bubble joke.
What else happened recently? Talking about some of the stuff that went well. The Atkinson line of Atkinson, Brassard, and Farabee looks so good. It's crazy. These guys literally just find ways to score every single game.
Yeah, that's been one of my huge surprises, and it's not been Atkinson or Farabee. It's been Brassard in the middle. He's been like a great two-way player. He's been in on the forecheck, loosening up pucks, and he's been amazing. Like I didn't expect him to play like this at all, really.
It's nuts between him, Yandel, and I guess Thompson, all those guys that we signed for under $1 million each. Mm-hmm. It's just crazy how important those guys have already become on this team. I
mean, Atkinson and Brassard have chemistry. They played together on the same line in Columbus when they were both there. So
that was a while ago, though.
Yeah, that was a while ago, but you can see they got it back fast. And then I think Farabee can play with anyone, and he's just starting to get going with both of them too. So it could be a dangerous line. Like, Hayes comes back, and I'm assuming they'll give him a slow start and keep this as their second line and have him start on the third line. But
yeah, that's the smart move.
If this is called the second line or it's called the third line or whatever, it doesn't matter. They're offensively
so gifted.
Deadly. Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think Atkinson and Farabee already have chemistry. I think they like playing together.
I mean, Farabee, 3 goals, 3 assists, 6 points in 4 games. Atkinson, 4 goals, 1 assist, 5 goals in 4 games. Brassard, 1 goal, 4 assists, 5 points in 4 games. So,
nuts.
And, I mean, Yandel too, 5 assists in 4 games. So the
acquisitions
new guys
are making noise.
Producing, and that line has had a ton of chemistry. And they didn't play a lot in preseason. I think Lindblom played with Atkinson and Brassard for all except like the last game of preseason, and they threw Farabee on the line. And I think I'm not going to go back and look, but I'm pretty sure the last episode we recorded, talked about them being on a line together, and we were like, why would you put Farabee and Atkinson on a line together? They're both
Right.
shooters.
And now we just look like
Now we look
idiots.
so fucking
But
stupid.
it's okay. We didn't actually say that. So if you didn't listen to that episode, then we didn't say that. This is a little off topic, but it has to do with Farabee. It looks like he might have a shot at being on Team USA this Olympic season.
I heard that,
which
yeah.
is, if he's on Team USA, I'm gonna root for Team USA no matter what. But if Farabee's on the team, I'm going hard for Team USA. Like, I'm gonna be pumped up.
Yeah, I mean, you root for Team USA, and then you root for whoever has like Flyers players.
Right, that. Exactly. I mean, I always rooted for Canada because I was just like, dude, like Giroux was on that team a bunch of times back when Pronger and like Mike Richards were on it. So
also, Carter Hart is still an option in goal.
He is an option. It's so tough because there's too many options for that goalie.
Well, there's Price, who went
Isn't
into
playing.
player assistance program. He's not playing, and then Fleury. Everyone talks about Blackwood, and
Blackwood won't get vaccinated, so he's not going to be allowed to play.
For it. And then who else? I can't think of any Canadian goalies now.
There's a bunch. Carter's probably on the list, though. I'm sure, as long as if he's playing well,
Kemper.
he'll be thought of for the position. Darcy Kemper. Is he on
in
Arizona still?
No, he is on Colorado. They got him after they lost Grubauer.
Oh, you're right. It could be interesting. We'll see. But let's roll back into more Flyers talk. It is great to see that Farabee's in discussion there, though. One of the things I noticed as well in these first couple games, and it's not really anything that we should be too worried about, but like seeing how Risto was banged up a little bit, and now we see Ellis banged up, and he didn't play the other day against the Panthers. I'm hoping this isn't a trend that we start to see as the season progresses, but I'm okay with them missing a game here or there if they need it. But like, I just know, like, I feel like these guys might be slightly injury prone. I just hope that doesn't continue.
Well, with Ellis, it's something like the last 5 seasons he hasn't played the full 82 in the regular season.
Right.
So call it injury prone, call it like whatever. But as long as he's good to go for playoffs, I don't really care if he misses, like you said.
Me too.
If he misses 10 games this year or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, if he can play it over 60, 65 games, that's okay. Like, we need him to play, though, because we need him to build chemistry with Provorov. Even though he already has it, you still need to continuously play with players to, even improve upon that chemistry.
Yep.
So we'll see.
And, he's been, I mean, like, the defense has been different. I didn't want to say better.
Yeah. I think it's better.
Different. I think offensively it's doing a lot more.
But when they're active offensively, that means that they're playing well
going
overall.
from defense to offense. They're transitioning well from defense to offense. And that has a lot to do with, which we talk about with Coots, that those outlet passes, the first passes, the stretch passes through the zones.
Yeah. It's also nice. Yeah, it's also nice seeing a guy like Sealer, who we knew nothing about coming into the season, and he's actually playing respectable when he needs to. He seems like he's the perfect 7th D. I think later on Dalton says something similar. I think he said he would even have him as the 6th D. So
I mean, good thing we have him, because then
need him.
What's happening? You think they'd be calling York up?
Correct. Yep.
And play that, and they'd be jumbling the lines, and it'd be a whole mess.
This is why not having Friedman anymore kind of sucks, because he would have been a perfect 7th defenseman too.
Yeah, whatever. We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
He's on the Penguins now.
It's the past.
Yeah. While we're on that topic, should we go around the league to the other?
Yeah. Let's talk about how fucking good Pittsburgh's been playing without Crosby or Malkin.
It's insane, dude. It's insane. They sign Brian Boyle the last day before the season starts. He scores a goal in his first game. He scored a goal yesterday, or was it yesterday or 2 days ago? I think last night in the 7-1 win.
Yeah. Against
Toronto. Yeah, 7-1. Wow. And they just have no names. Like, Letang's out, Jarry's out, Carter's out, Malkin's out, Crosby's out. How do they put up 7 points on the Toronto Maple Leafs?
It's so
7
crazy
goals.
because it's almost like we should just fucking expect it at this point. Like we've been talking about it every episode. Like the Penguins are gonna suck. They don't have Malkin. They don't have Crosby. They're gonna have. This is the beginning of the end, and
Every
it's
year.
starting. It's starting to feel like it's like the Tom Brady talk. Like, oh, he's gonna suck this year. He's gonna start to go downhill. At this point, I think we should just expect Pittsburgh to be good, and be happy when they aren't, because even without these guys, they're playing fucking good. They're 3-0-2. It's insane. It pisses me off.
People forget they led the East Division last year.
Oh, they won it. They won it
Yeah, they
luckily,
won.
but still, and it sucks because like we need one of those spots, and like the Caps are playing good too, and so are the Rangers. But you would think like the Caps and Rangers would probably still be pretty decent teams. I think the Caps are on the downward slope too, but I just don't think it's going to be as quick as what I think the Penguins should. Or what should happen to them? What isn't though?
And it makes sense for them to not be on the downward decline with Crosby, Malkin, Letang, and whoever healthy, but they're all out and they're still winning games.
Right, and they don't. They haven't.
Where's the Buffalo last year?
They haven't made the moves to stay consistent. They've made moves where it's like you're not doing anything, and your team kind of looks like you're going to start to stink soon. Like. It's crazy.
The moves, and we can talk about who their GM is later, but the moves they made around the expansion draft were like baffling. They traded McCann to Toronto for like some random player, because they didn't want to lose him for nothing in the expansion draft. And then the Kraken took Brandon Tanev, so they lost like 2 of their like energy buddy guys.
Yeah, really good role
players.
players.
And it was just like, and then Seattle picked McCann from Toronto too, so they got both of them.
I guess losing Tanev's salary is kind of good, but like he was still a good enough player that I don't think his salary really mattered.
Was he making 3 times
over
6?
3 mil, I think, something like that. Yeah, for a bottom 6 player. Like I mean, we're playing Lawton that much, but he's still young. And he can play top 6 minutes if needed.
Yeah.
I'm sure Tanev does the same, though.
Yeah, that guy's just fast.
Yeah. What about, like, Caps and Rangers? You got any thoughts on them? Because, I mean, as people should know, if you guys have been listening since the start of this podcast, my roommate's a big Rangers fan, so I watch them all the time. It's crazy. 4-1-1, I believe, is their record. Sucks, but I expect the Rangers to be good this year. So it's not that unexpected.
Yeah, I didn't watch a ton of their games, some of the highlights, but how have they been defensively?
It's kind of crazy because they're always in these tight hockey games, and it's like I dabble in betting every day here or there, and like I never want to touch the Rangers games because I know it, and my roommate will say it too. You have no idea what's going to happen. It could be the Rangers that are really talented and good, or you're going to see the Rangers team that literally chokes every day. Kind of like a lot of New York teams, a.k.a. the New York Jets.
Yeah, and they're 4-1-1, but their goal differential's a +1.
Okay. I mean, our goal
So
differential is probably fucking through the roof right now.
No, ours is a +5.
+5 is still pretty decent for 4 games.
Pittsburgh and Carolina are +11.
Craziness. I mean, Pittsburgh just won 7-1, so
yeah.
that would help.
I mean, I guess Carolina 4-0-0, +11 goal differential.
Yeah, dude, our division sucks, man. It really does.
And by that you mean it's really good. I mean, like the Islanders are 2-2-1 and in last place.
Yeah, and
they're the Islanders.
We literally think they're gonna be the best team in the division, which is crazy.
Hey man,
obviously it's the beginning.
Goalies are getting, going. Teams are trying to get their systems together. There's always a lot of offense. In like the first couple weeks.
You're right. It might settle down coming up here.
These teams are going to go on runs where they like lose 5 out of 7 or, go on 10-game losing streaks or whatever. So there's going to be, I mean, you can't be looking at the standings now and being like, oh, Flyers in 7th place. Like, oh, we're not.
Standings mean nothing. I don't look at it at all. I look just to see how the teams are doing. I look at their records. I don't look at where they are in the standings yet.
Yeah.
I look to see how many games they've played and how many of them are they winning in regulation. What's their loss column look like?
It's going to be tough, but you think the 2 wild card spots are both Metro teams.
They're gonna have to be. The division's too good.
So in the Atlantic, you think what? Florida, Boston, Tampa. Buffalo's second. I'm looking at the standings, so that's why.
Florida, Boston,
Tampa, or Toronto.
Toronto kind of looks like cheeks right now.
They've been bad.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Those 4 teams, so those are the ones that could fight for a playoff spot. So if one of those teams is better than the 5 in our division, it'll be 4-4 instead of 5 from ours, 3 from theirs. But I still think our division's better. Somebody's gonna have to fall. It's gonna have to be like Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh needs to be the odd man out.
I don't think they're going to.
I don't know, man. Do you really think they can ride the back of Tristan Jarry?
No, I don't think they can do that, but I think that Crosby can carry
win
them to
games.
The playoffs.
Of course. Yep.
To get into the playoffs. They'll probably lose in the first round again, but
dude, if we don't make the playoffs this year, I'm going to cry.
It's going to be bad. Like, what if we play well enough to make the playoffs, but we don't,
but because of the division we're in, we get fucked over.
Yeah.
Tends to happen a lot for
we'd be in the top 2 in
Philly
any other
sports.
division.
Yeah. That would stink.
It's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out. We're going on our West Coast trip.
Yep, Flyers after dark next week or this week, so it should be fun. A lot of 10 p.m. games, probably going to fall asleep during them. But, yeah. Why don't we, let's head into our interview with YaBoyCoots. What do you say?
Yep, sounds good.
All right, let's do it. All right, we're now welcoming him in at YaBoyCoots, a.k.a. Dalton from Flyers Twitter. How you doing today, Dalton?
Hey, what's going on, boys? What an honor to be here right now. How you doing?
Doing well. Nice football Sunday. What about you, Z?
Yeah,
how you doing?
Sunday.
Good, man. Good to have Dalton finally on. Have our first guest ever on the show. Super exciting.
Yeah, I think when we first had the idea of the show, Dalton was the first guy that we 100% wanted to hop on to be our first guest. So, I mean, this is awesome. I'm happy we were finally able to do it. And for the first couple weeks of the season too, which is perfect timing, I think.
Hey, DG, remember when you DM'd me? You actually came to me.
Yeah.
And you're wondering, you're like, hey, I kind of want to start a podcast. Would you be interested? And I was like, you know what? I probably am a little too busy, but I knew the perfect guy, and it's Time I Skate Z over here. And Z, you actually, before DG reached out to me, you actually wanted to start a pod too. So I came up with this little idea for you guys to get together. This is like my little baby I created.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, you're the brainchild behind this. That's absolutely right. I asked you if you ever wanted to start a podcast with
you
your
asked
Twitter
me and
following.
Denny, and I think Denny was just like wanted no parts of it. He just was like, no way.
Yeah. DG, you met Denny at the Flyers game.
I did, yeah.
That was
I
our other
remember
boy.
meeting him.
Yeah.
It's crazy how this world works. Like I reached out to Dalton and then boom, was put in touch with you, and now we're like basically like great friends. It's been like we've known each other for only like a couple months, and I feel like we're pretty good friends already.
Seen each other in person one time.
Yep.
I like how before the podcast idea too, DG, me and you would like retweet each other. We'd kind of feed off each other and feed off each other's followers and grow each other. It's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think we can notice when somebody else has a good Flyers Twitter account. There's so many of them.
Yeah,
but like I noticed yours specifically. I thought like yours was perfect. I actually like had some like a couple questions to ask you for starters. Like,
of course.
How would you describe like your Twitter account? Because it's so different from like what I do. Through my Twitter.
Yeah, I try to keep my Twitter account pretty unbiased. I just want to kind of get people together, get people chatting about the Flyers, like past, present. I like to post a lot of former, videos of former players and memorable events that have happened in the history of the Flyers organization, because this really is a interesting history, and it is like a top franchise in the league. So actually, like when I was in Buffalo, when I went to school in Buffalo area for about 4 years, and I noticed a lot of accounts were like posting like videos of like the Drury days and the Briere days, like when they were like a wagon back in the day. And I was like, there is no Flyer account that posts videos of like memorable events. So I was like, you know what? Like I had to capitalize on that little niche I found. So yeah, that's kind of how it started. Um,
I mean, yeah,
how you know what I mean? Like it's just funny how it worked out.
yeah. I mean, it's the perfect theme or like niche, as you said, for your account. I think it's perfect. It's so easy to run too. You just gotta like find like old crazy videos of like crazy goals, hits, like or
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever it is.
Exactly, it's perfect. I really do love
And
your account. It's one of my
and
favorites.
I try because there are a lot of older fans too. I try to get as much 70s and 80s content in there as possible too. Even stuff before I was born. Because
Yeah, I
man,
mean,
those teams in the 70s and 80s were unbelievable. I wish I had a chance to see them live.
yeah. I mean, I'm never gonna complain seeing some Broad Street Bully
Oh
content
yeah,
on
no
the
way.
feed.
And those 80s Flyers, man, so underrated. They gave those Edmonton Oilers teams some run for their money, and even the Islanders teams too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it's funny those people like remember watching those games live or going to see them, watching them on
I
TV
know.
when they were live, and now they're seeing them on Twitter from you.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
meanwhile, we
yeah,
were
right.
Nostalgia factor.
we weren't even
Exactly.
like
That's
a
what I want to do. I want to create chatter. I want to bring people together. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it gets a little toxic on Flyers Twitter. So
Sometimes
yeah, I know exactly. That's when I'm like, all right, what can I bring people together with? The Mike Richards shift. Let's go right now.
it's funny that you say that because you never really get into it with anyone. No one really comes at you, or if they do, you're really
Yeah,
chill in the response to them.
yeah. No, every once in a while I get a little defensive. Like like people not giving Risto a chance. I love Risto, man. I know he had a slow start that first game. I didn't see the second game. Did he play pretty well the second game?
He would
Um,
everyone. I mean, him and Sanheim have just been both have been
was his
bad.
second
yeah,
game the Panthers.
Yeah,
Panthers game. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
second game.
I think he looked okay. I think that whole game was kind of weird, top to
Kind of weird.
bottom.
Yeah. A lot of penalties, right? I've heard.
so many. And
Yeah, it was rough.
in the Boston game, he I mean, he didn't play well, particularly defensively, but he did have that big hit on Charlie Coyle that led to a
Yeah,
penalty that we scored on. So,
yeah. I mean, he got back from injury. I like to give people at least like 10 games to kind of
oh
see
yeah,
what they're doing. I mean, overall though, I'm pretty happy with what we got going with the Flyers right now.
considering how many guys we have hurt, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm excited to see obviously Hayes, right? That's huge. I'm so excited to see Allison in like a full year with us.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
we are actually talking about that too. Just like the fact that, I mean, it was a pretty good start. I'd say like it would have been nice to beat the Panthers, but like the fact that we have Hayes and um Wade Allison just waiting to come back is just
I
awesome
know,
as well.
I
Like
know, man. A lot of
we're not
depth, a
at
lot of depth.
we're not at full power yet, which is great.
Yeah,
I need to
exactly.
see NAK go though.
Yeah, he seems like he's
Yeah,
on the hot list to be off the roster
Too
soon.
many bad penalties.
yeah,
But
for
we picked
sure.
up those guys on waivers. Was like, when's the last time we did that? Picked up anyone on waivers? We pick up two
Yeah,
like fourth line guys, and
That was
McEwen has
kind
looked
of
nice.
it's kind of the only
mhm.
option that we had at
I
that
do
point
like
because we
McEwen.
have $0 in cap space.
Yeah,
Yeah, what was it like $26? Like you could buy like two
Yeah,
hoagies
it
from
was
Wawa
like a
and a
hundred
drink.
something bucks left. He's probably made it. He's probably used he's probably made it more by now by
Yeah,
putting Sealer in the minors for a couple days here or there.
yeah,
That
of
helps.
course. No, I think like overall, man, the buzz, this team, like they're flying around. They're like all acting like honey badgers. I mean, the first game, Drew's chirping at, Bastian and getting into it. And then like Thompson sticking up for the captain. Like, man, I'll never forget like last year, Lindblom getting cross checked in the head after he just battled cancer. Nobody did anything. Like, I don't know. There's a different buzz and like aura around the team. And I know it's early, but I really have a better feeling this year than that last year for sure.
I mean
Anything's got to be better.
it's a completely
Yeah.
different team. Like there's like 6 or 7
Yeah.
players that have gone out and come in,
Yeah,
right?
and
So
also they were all leaders too. Like they were
yeah,
all A's. I mean, besides McEwen, I mean, and Sealer, but like the big guys that we brought in were all had A's, all had leadership roles. You know what I mean? It's awesome.
Yeah,
you saw it first in the preseason too. Broussard was standing up for like Farabee, and
Yeah,
I think there was another younger player that got hit maybe. You've
Broussard,
seen it from
yeah,
all the guys. Broussard has been
dude,
very surprising so far.
Broussard, yeah. Like I was gonna say, he surprises me, man. I knew a little bit about him, but like I thought he was kind of like that Hoffman kind of player. He moves around a lot. He's just like kind of a skilled guy. But I didn't really know much about him, but he really is like a little honey badger out there, man. He goes in the corner, he battles, wins face-offs, makes good plays. Like, he does a little bit of everything. And so I love that about him.
Yeah, he's had a ton of chemistry with Atkinson. They played together on the same line in
Atkinson.
Columbus.
Oh man, I love the way Atkinson plays, man. He flies, he buzzes around out there. He's just shooting it from everywhere. Like if there's nothing, he's not dumping it. He's getting it on net. He's not forcing plays to the middle. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like I loved Voracek. I know he made boneheaded plays and whatnot, but man, I think Atkinson's just a better fit. It's just that simple for me.
Yeah.
Some players just fit in better with teams. You know what I mean? Like maybe
Exactly.
Atkinson, maybe Voracek is the more skilled player, maybe whatever. But I don't know, man. Atkinson on Philly is more of a fit.
I don't think so. I think I got into it a little bit this weekend with one of those stupid analytical accounts on Flyers Twitter.
Those guys.
And it's crazy because it's just like they're both completely different hockey players. Atkinson is a perfect fit on this team. I think like the pros he has over Voracek are easily like the guy just grinds every single game. There's times where you see Voracek just basically stop trying little bit when he knows like the game's over, but Atkinson's never going to do that. But then, I mean, Voracek's going to be a great fit on Columbus as well. So I think that trade just straight up was just equal both sides. Both sides got the type of player they were looking for. And I mean, you can't really call it any other way.
I mean, also Atkinson's like what, $2 million cheaper. Not a bad gig.
He's only a couple years older too. I think he's like 32, which really in hockey years isn't too bad.
They're the same age, him and Voracek.
Oh, they are.
Voracek, it's like a few months in between them.
A few months. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, so that makes me feel even better about the deal.
And it's not just the shoot first. Like his defensive stick has been like evident and amazing so far. Like on the penalty kill.
And the shorthanded goal was that against Florida.
His shorty was against Florida, but he had a bunch of like defensive sticks in previous games that led to breakaways and goals down the ice.
Nice. So Dalton, what do you think out of all the moves they've made? Which one's your favorite? Like, what player for the Flyers this year have you most liked watching?
Honestly, Ryan Ellis, man, that guy is a stud. That guy is so freaking good. Like, he's one of those defensemen that are just like almost perfect. Like, you don't notice him. Like, you obviously notice him, but he just doesn't make mistakes. So you don't, normally when you notice a defenseman, it's because they're making mistakes or turnovers. He just makes all the right plays. So, when he has the puck on his hands, it's getting out of the zone. It's going to create a chance. He's got a good shot. It's not a bomb, but it's accurate. And I don't want to make this comparison, but just because of the size, but he's very like Tiemann in it. He's got that vibe to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Always in the right position, poise of the puck, good shot on net, size wise, they're similar. And then him with Provorov, he's so good for Provorov too. It's great. It's great to see him out there. So I think that's my favorite. And also the trade. I mean, we get rid of Patrick, who, he's not lighting the lamp up in Vegas. I mean, I hope he does well.
4 games.
Yeah, I'm not gonna like shit on the guy. But I mean, I'm happy for him that he's somewhere else and whatever. But I mean, it's just such a great trade. And then Myers, I liked Myers too, but he's not even playing in Nashville.
He's been
scratching him.
Yeah, so I mean, that was a freaking deal, man. And I know people are like worried about him being injury prone or whatever. I think that he's, he just took the day. I mean, he's probably just a little banged up. It's probably nothing crazy. He's probably just resting, before the long trip.
Yeah, if he needs a game every once in a while because he's like blocking. I think he's a guy that blocks a lot of shots too, kind of like Provorov. Like he might need a maintenance day here or there. So like it's whatever. If he can play at least 65 games this year, I'd be happy with that, I'd say.
I do not mind a maintenance day for a guy that important. You know what I mean?
Right. And we don't have a game till what, Wednesday? So
Wednesday, yeah.
And we're good.
The Oilers are at the Eagles game getting drunk. Did you guys see that?
They are.
Yeah.
Are they in Vegas? That's crazy.
They're in Vegas, yeah. They're having like team dinner and team bonding for like the next 3 days. So hopefully we can capitalize on that Wednesday.
Yeah, they'll probably be a little hungover.
Yeah, probably.
Just to go back to Ellis real quick. One thing I noticed with him and with Yandel that has been huge, which we haven't had in the past few years, is that first pass out of the zone and the stretch pass.
The poise, man. you can't teach that poise, that patience of the puck, man. You either just have it or you don't. Like, I mean,
Exactly.
Yandel's been, I mean, better than I thought he would be. I know, dude, the 14 Panther fans are always in our mentions like, oh, are you happy with Yandel yet? Oh, whatever they're saying. And I'm like, dude, actually I am. For like, what do we get him for 900K?
Yeah.
Such a
And
steal.
he's so good, man. I mean, he's gonna make mistakes. I heard he made a mistake at the Panthers game, but I mean, whatever. That
Yeah.
happens, dude.
He's going to make less mistakes than Ghost probably was making. So that
Yeah,
alone
of
is
course.
probably a step up.
Oh, of
And
course.
his
And then what's our power play at like 40% right now? Like that's partially his reasoning or his reason.
And that pass that he made, I don't know if you guys saw it. That pass that he made off the boards
to JVR.
right to JVR, then Walton ends up finishing it against Boston, I believe. That was
Yeah.
just like the hockey IQ in a play like that is like through the roof. Like you don't have to be
Yes.
the most skilled hockey player to make a play like that, but he's just smarter than most of the players out there. So he's just able to make such a smart decision with the puck there.
That was amazing. And the other one was the assist to TK in the Kraken game where he faked the dump in and the defenseman backed up and he just slid it to TK through the middle.
He did a little song ski.
A little song.
Man, and like I just love like when he first came to the team, he did those interviews and like he was just like kind of chirping at Gritty and like it's just refreshing to have a team with some personality, you know? Like kind of brings you back to the teams with like Hartnell and Richards and all those guys that actually were pretty funny and characters and stuff.
Exactly. We need some personality back in the Flyers locker room.
Yeah.
It's been a little too dry the past couple of years.
Yeah. And that's one thing that like I'm okay with analytics, but that's one thing they don't calculate, man. It's like playing the game, man. If you have a team with good energy and good vibes in the locker room, that is like half the battle, man. Honestly, man.
I mean,
you want
played
a team
hockey,
where
right? So
yeah, exactly, man.
If you love your teammates, your team's gonna play a lot better.
Yeah, he's gonna go battle for that your teammate, man. You love each other, man. It's if you're on a team that's like, you know, one guy's like playing video games all night, not going to team dinner, and then the other guy's just, you know, just hanging with the girlfriend the whole time. You know what I mean? If you got guys in their own little cliques and doing their own thing, and man, that kind of team won't go anywhere.
You're right.
So it seems like they're really like most of them, at least, are all pretty cohesive. So
yeah, a lot of them are starting to have babies too, so they can get along with that too. They have something in common.
Yeah, I saw that pic with Braun and TK, just like with their babies.
So funny. They're like 10 years apart. Both have. Was that Braun's first kid too? I was thinking it might be. If it is, that's hilarious. Like Braun's like 35, TK's like 24.
I know, it's awesome.
I think Cam and G were both at the Philadelphia Zoo with their kids today.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's cool. Z, you've seen a good amount of Flyers in the city, right?
I've seen so many, dude. Even like the past week, I ran into Provy a couple times and see Oscar.
I saw Provy once on South Street. I saw Provy. It was like when they just got smoked like 6-2 last year, and I was like, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah,
guy's a unit. That guy's huge.
Yeah, they're really low key when they walk around the city. Like we're the only people that would like recognize them, like big fans, because you can't really tell if they're an athlete with, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they blend in because they're not like always the tallest, but they just kind of blend in. Yeah, or they'll always wear a hat or something. You know, they're just kind of incognito. Like obviously, you're gonna notice like even a bench player on the Sixers, you're gonna notice them because they're like 6'6" minimum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
to step away a little bit from the Flyers, I think fans might want to hear how you two met, because the reason this whole podcast started was because you two knew each other.
Yeah.
So if you want to dive into that.
Yeah, I'll dive into that. Yeah. So I met Z in high school down by the shore. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, sorry, I've dropped my phone. But yeah, so I met Z down at the shore. We went to high school together, and I was amazed because like Z never played hockey before. You know what I mean? There are not many people by the shore that never played hockey that are such big fans. Man, this guy knows more about hockey than me, I swear. And I played like up until college. So funny story about Z is, well, when we were always like tight and good friends and whatnot, like always talking about the Flyers. But when we really became boys was senior year. He had this huge birthday, or not birthday bash, just end of the year party. And I swear there were like 150 people at his house, right? And like people were like destroying the house, throwing like the furniture into his pool and whatnot. And guess what Z was doing? he was in the living room watching Game 5 of the 2012 Finals. It was the Rangers versus LA, and we watched all the way up to the Toffoli goal at the end. It was hilarious.
My God, dude, that's something only a hockey fan would do. Holy shit!
It got a little out of control.
It was just like, there's cute girls everywhere, right? There's mayhem going on, but nope. Me, him, and a few other guys were just watching hockey. It was awesome. I'll never forget it.
Yeah,
dude, the guys watching hockey at a party are the guys you want to be hanging out with.
Yeah, exactly.
They're always the coolest guys there.
The cool kids, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just crazy because down here, like, there's not much ice hockey playing, but a lot of people play street hockey. And Z, you never played street hockey even, right? This guy just loves the game. I love it.
That's crazy. I love it, dude, though.
Z would come up to me and like just text me about the Flyers when I'm like playing like hockey. Like I'm mid juniors and he's just telling me things about the Flyers. And I'm like, dude, how did you learn this? Like, you didn't even play the game. Like the little things. Like, he's like, the Flyers need a better F1 and the F2 needs to be in the center more. And I'm like, dude, what are you like? How do you know this?
Just a student of the game. But like, you're right. Not having that play, like I played hockey too. So like I have that knowledge from like playing the game that like people that didn't might not understand. But I honestly I think you do understand that even though you didn't play, like you can put yourself in their shoes, which is what you have to do.
Crazy.
Thousands
which is
of
why
hours
analytics aren't everything.
Playing Cho. That's
all.
That's all. It's just playing Cho. Going.
That was your education.
Yep.
Z's running the plays like doing the AI plays and whatnot. He's like, oh, okay, that's what F1 means. He's like writing down all these notes.
Dude, I do the training camp. Like, everyone skips that shit.
He didn't win the cup. He wins the cup every year in franchise mode, except 1 year, and then he learned from his mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, one other thing we need to talk about, because there's new players, new team, new identity this year. We did have a new goal song, and
of course
you were campaigning for a specific
goal
song.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I try to be unbiased and whatnot, but I was a little biased with Tarzan Boy.
Oh my God, that was one of my least favorite ones.
I know.
For me, I had a tweet where I said something like, Tarzan Boy, it's like the Gritty of goal songs. Like, everyone hated Gritty at first. I love Gritty, by the way, at first, actually, but most people hated Gritty, and I was like, it's the Gritty of goal songs, because everyone's gonna hate it at first, but when you got 20,000 fans going, you know what I mean? They're gonna love it.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, every post I would comment and reply and be like, you know what I mean? Tarzan Boy. Oh man.
Yeah, it was your goal song when you were playing in school, right?
And that's the funniest thing. When I heard that song, I kind of my jaw dropped, because I was like, I picked it for my team. We were kind of all together, like trying to figure out like what a good goal song would be, and I go like this, boys, listen right now to this song. And I started playing it in the locker room, and all the boys were loving it. But admittedly, I had a buddy find my Coots tweet who played on my team, and he was like, I actually hated that song, and he was dead serious. And I'm like, dude, what?
I thought it was just a little bit too slow. Too slow for me.
No, I get it. No, trust me, I get it.
Are you happy with the one they chose?
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I mean, it's higher energy, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
go ahead.
I'm not like mad at it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think, was it you that tweeted that? Oh my God.
The dupe thing?
DG. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't
the
think.
Dupe thing?
Yeah. No, didn't you tweet out though that you're like, you said something that, oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. What were you saying? The dupe? Yeah. You want to
the dupe thing. I want to dupe so badly. And there was a video of G and Farabee both being like on board. Like, yeah, we would like to have dupe. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. If you like go back in my tweets, you'd see it. It was
I didn't see that tweet.
it's beautiful. I thought they were tricking us, honestly. Like when me and Z ended up going to the home opener, we kind of thought they were like messing with us and we were going to hear Duke,
Yeah.
but obviously it's like Kung versus something. I forget the name of the title, but
This girl.
Yeah.
The whole thing was I knew they weren't going to do Duke because like the whole thing was we got new players, we're a new team. Like I didn't think they were going to go back to an old goal song.
Yeah, there are a lot of people on Twitter that are like, oh, people want Dupe again. It's all the 25-year-olds that wear fedoras and stuff like that. I don't know.
Oh my God, Dupe
yeah,
was
no,
such
the
a
argument
sick song.
Yeah,
like,
it was very
here.
divided. Our Twitter was getting a little or like Flyers Twitter was getting a little toxic over the goal songs. So I was trying to lighten the mood. I had people genuinely mad at me in my mentions that I was like campaigning jokingly. I was pretty much joking, but like still a little serious, but I was overall joking. But I had some people like, oh, low energy, that sucks, like kind of thing. I'm like, guys, like chill out. Like at the end of the day, yeah, I think you tweeted Gritty. I think you said something like, I don't care what the goal song is as long as like they're scoring goals, right? Was that you that tweeted
right.
that?
Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly it though.
Like at the end of the day, man, let's just score some goals and win some hockey games, right?
If we win hockey games, that's all that fucking matters. It's crazy that Flyers Twitter, they didn't have anything to be pissed off about, so they decided to be pissed off about the fucking goal song.
I know. It was either that, it was the goal song, and people, the analytics versus like the eye test people with Risto. That was like the big argument before the season.
Over the off season, yeah.
Dude, but the goal song. Go ahead, though.
No, go on. I
was gonna say if you do hate it, I would say give it a chance. Go to a game live and give it a chance because it's way more.
It slaps in person.
It slaps in person.
I actually like it. No, I do like
that song. I do too, but I do see what they like I kind of see where people are coming from because when you listen to it on TV, it's like a little duller than it is in the stadium. And pretty sure NBC Sports doesn't have the crowd mic'd up as well as they should.
No, they don't.
And and it sounds so much quieter than it actually does in the stadium.
Dude, our fans sound so quiet, and I know it's not true, but I know they lower the fan volume.
Like that Giroux goal, we were both there, me and DJ. It was loud in there.
Yeah,
and it doesn't sound like that on the.
It was one of the best moments in the Farg in the past 2 years. Obviously, we haven't been in the Farg in 2 years, but
dude,
it felt like old times.
I know, man. I honestly, I see the fans going wild too. It actually looks like an old time game. It seems like people are excited about the team too, which is good. I mean, and they're just playing a lot better. They're faster. I know
they're playing harder,
definitely harder. And they're just buzzing, man. There's energy to them. Where last year, man, they're just kind of coasting. They're acting like they just won the cup. You know what I mean? They're playing like they don't owe anybody anything. I don't know.
They're trying to win every single game. I think that's something that you didn't see them do last year. They knew they had games that were lost and they stopped trying.
Yeah, they just didn't. I don't know what the heck happened.
And G's interviews and stuff, they seem like they want to win every game possible.
Yeah, exactly. I think them not having fans last year and not being able to hang out hurt a lot too. I think they just wanted to get through that season.
Agreed. I think they knew that season was lost pretty early on. And it was just a lost cause.
I think just naturally you're going to get more energy playing in front of a pumped up crowd.
Dude, Philly fans, some are the best too to play in front of.
We've always been good at home too. So the fact that we got that home ice advantage back is huge.
I know. It's awesome, man. Definitely the sixth or the seventh player on the ice goes to the fans.
Hell yeah. Why don't we go? Let's go with one more question here.
Yeah, of course.
And then we'll let you go. We don't want to drag on too long.
Whatever.
So who do you think is going to score the most points this year? Worst plus minus too. Basically, just give us some of your best bold predictions that you think could play out this season.
Dude, I was thinking about this in the car. I wouldn't be surprised if Giroux gets back to 85, 90 points and is the leading scorer. Old man Giroux getting after it. Point guy.
He's been a man on a mission.
I mean, I think the obvious answer for goals is probably Atkinson, but I mean, maybe a sleeper. Yeah, maybe more of a sleeper pick would be no, that wouldn't be a sleeper pick. Yeah, Farabee or Atkinson with the goals.
I took TK with goals actually as my sleeper. I didn't he's a guy people might not think, but he puts up goals. He really does.
Yeah,
I think I took Atkinson, right?
Yeah, you did take Atkinson.
I said Atkinson. Yeah. I mean, he's on a heater now. He could definitely slow down too.
I mean, he has 4 goals in 4 games.
Yeah, it could definitely slow down, but I like him right now for the goal leader at the end of the year too. I think points. I really think Drew might be the leader in points again this year.
I
don't know.
That would be great.
Call me crazy.
I mean, he's my favorite player of all time. I would love nothing more than to see that.
He's looked so good. Usually he has a slow start, but he's just been amazing out of the gate. Like he won't score a goal for his first 10 games usually.
I blame it on that. Well, I give Kraken credit, man. They woke him up early.
Yeah.
Trying to get under his skin, man. And then Drew, you see him chirping, leaning over the bench. I love that, man.
Dude, Thompson beat the rails off that kid.
Yeah, dude. Thompson
I didn't know he could fight like that.
Dude, Thompson came in pretty heavy, man.
That was an awesome fight, dude. That was all over social media. I think I even jumped in. I had a tweet that had over 1,000 likes. I was like, I've never had this happen before. This is great.
Yeah. How awesome is that when you pop off with one tweet? It's the best.
Yeah.
You can't stop looking at your phone.
Just like, holy shit.
Steelers chucking refs away. People are already saying that Steelers are favorite player. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Dude, he's the 7th defenseman. He can't be.
He's good, man. He's so good for a 7th guy. But yeah, I know it. People are saying he's their favorite player now. I'm like, what the hell?
Fair enough. I'm cool with having him in the lineup when guys like Ellis and Risto need a break.
I'm so confident in him as our 6th defenseman. I love that. Love that.
Even 6th. I'd say 7th. He's perfect for 7.
I mean, I'd much rather have him and have Ellis in.
Yeah.
Than, you know what I mean? I'd much rather have him replace Risto and do Braun, Sanheim, Sealer, Yandel and keep the top line together than have Ellis be out. Because I just hate Braun on that first line.
Duh. Obviously.
Yeah.
I know that. Yeah, I know. I just felt like I had to say that.
Yeah. I don't mind Braun. I think he does his job. He's not flashy.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? Plus minus. I Coots with the plus, highest plus. Are you lowest minus?
Yeah.
I think would go.
Yeah, worst plus minus.
Worst plus minus.
Nolan's not on the team anymore.
Ooh, yeah, lowest plus minus. Let's see. I think maybe I don't know. Who's NAK?
Yeah. that sounds right. I think
maybe you know what too? Maybe Yandel, and not because of his fault, but just because he gets a lot of points on the power play, that those pluses don't count.
Let me run through some right now. Yandel is actually +5, and Knack is actually leading the team in obviously leading in the bottom of the team in -4.
Oh, so. Okay. I didn't even look at the stats before this. I'm coming in cold.
No, you're good. I got him up. I got him up for every episode, baby.
Dude,
I'm a veteran. 9 episodes in.
They're just man, they're just very deep too. I love it. And they're kind of heavy too. They're not that light team they usually are.
Yeah,
we
picked up a few big body guys.
Yeah,
that's what you have to do if you're not fast.
Yeah,
if you're not fast, you don't play light.
My biggest argument is no, we're not trying to get I don't think the Broad Street Bullies, obviously that doesn't translate anymore, but you look at every team that's won the cup. Tampa got smoked their first year, with that super team by Columbus because they were outworked, they were out muscled. And then what did they do? They got a whole line of freaking big boys. They got Maroon, they got Bogosian, you know what I mean?
Goudreau.
They Boudreau and all those guys. And they just you need heavy guys to run that 3rd, 4th line and wear out the other team. It can't just be skill only. It only takes you so far. I mean, look at every cup team, man. They got a pretty tough 4th line, or they got a few good, solid defensemen that eat tough minutes and whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I think since losing a guy like Simmons, we've been missing guys that on our team. And finally, Chuck's realized that and made the moves necessary to, I mean, these guys aren't going to play big minutes, but they'll be 4th line players,
Thompson, Mack on the 4th line, they're playoff guys, man. You're not going to be impressed by them with their numbers, but they eat good minutes. And what was I going to say? I'm excited to see you think Patrick Brown gets a shot?
I think he's in the next game he can possibly play, and then NAK's out.
Yeah, give him a shot. See what he's about, because when he left Vegas, a lot of the Vegas fans were sad to see him go.
Yeah.
So
same with McEwen.
We'll see. I don't know anything about them, but I'm excited to see. Yeah, yo, McEwen, man, the Vancouver fans really are missing him. So I guess that's a good sign.
I mean, he's looked fast. He's been in on the forecheck. He's been hitting.
Yeah, he's hit. He's hit, taking bodies
some shots.
And I'm sure he'll fight anyone. I've seen him. I've looked up his YouTube fights. So he fights big boys and stuff. But yeah, no, it's just a good year, man. Good year for some Flyers hockey, right? When are we gonna go to a game, all of us?
You should plan something for that. That'd be great.
Dude, we should like post a video of us just like chucking some beers back and going nuts for Flyer games.
Well, we gotta pick what like we gotta pick a good team to go see.
Yeah. Well, we should do what you and me did, Z. Maybe a little longer. We'll go to Xfinity Live, and then the thing that I've noticed is if you look at StubHub about 30 minutes before the game, you can really snag some good tickets for like a cheaper price, just because like those guys got to get rid of them or they're not selling the tickets whatsoever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would rather go in with tickets, but
yeah. Well, worst case, we drink at Xfinity Live for the game. It's not too terrible, is it?
True.
I'll take that compromise.
We'll do some karaoke.
Ride the bull.
I'll do Tarzan Boy for the fans.
What song? Yeah, Tarzan Boy.
That's so funny.
Thinking like Wonderwall would be one I would like to do.
Oh yeah, that's classic. That gets the bar going.
Hell yeah.
What else you guys planning? Any other big guests coming up, or is that a secret on the wraps?
Under wraps.
I guess you could call yourself a secret.
Yeah, we'll see. You're our only guest so far. We'll see
how
the reception is.
Tweet out? Should I tweet out before and like give people like a little?
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. Yeah, once we do it, like usually tomorrow, be like the little eye emoji, like, oh look, coming on the pod, something like that.
Guess who's going on a podcast? I'll say that.
Yeah, exactly.
Get the fans going.
Get the guys riled up.
Cool. We can see all the comments of people suggesting other podcasts besides ours.
Except ours. Yep.
Yeah. Exactly. They're like, yeah. I know. I was saying that. They're like tagging all the other. I was thinking about that in the car too. They're like tagging all like your competitors. Are you guys cool with all the other podcasts? Because there's a few of them.
I feel like eventually maybe getting some of those guys to like, we'll hop on theirs, they hop on ours would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't listen to that many podcasts. Like I try to during work, but like
of course.
Sometimes it's difficult. But
of course.
I don't look at them as like competitors, and like we interact with them on like Twitter and shit. So I mean,
and you shouldn't. Yeah.
We all do different things.
This is not our full-time job. Like we're not in it to like take down anybody.
Yeah, it's for fun. Yeah.
This is for shit.
No, I love it. This is fun though.
All right, cool. Well, thanks for coming on, Dalton. Hopefully you can be a recurring guest on our show.
Yeah, dude.
And we'll get you in maybe like once a month or something. Dalton's Corner.
The early biz nasty guy.
Yeah. We'll like give you a segment.
Chiclet stays.
You're comparing yourself to Biz already.
Yeah, man. Let's do it. Go for gold, right?
Right, exactly.
Yep.
And I'm excited to see you guys grow. This is great.
Thanks, man. Thanks for you brought us together. We wouldn't be doing this without you. So
this is
we're paying you back.
This is my baby. I'm always watching you guys.
It's not creepy at all. Well, we appreciate you coming on, dude, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.
Yeah, talk to you soon, guys.
All right, that was our interview with @YaBoyCoots on Twitter. It's a pleasure having him on, and I'm sure he's going to be probably our most famous and most recurring guest we'll have on here. So you'll see more of him if you enjoyed that. So let's get into post game. I'll start it off. Z, I got a little stupid thing. So I've been keeping track of the Flyers jerseys I wear during the games and which ones are working and which ones aren't. A little superstitious hockey behavior from me.
So let's hear it.
Yeah. So I wore the TK black to the home opener. Obviously, it didn't go as planned. So 0-1 with the TK black jersey. And then wearing my Kevin Hayes retro jersey. I wore that for the next 2 games in a row. So that jersey is 2-0. We beat the Kraken and then the Bruins. And then the loss the other day, yesterday, as we're recording now, I didn't actually wear a jersey, so no jerseys. I'm 0-1. So it appears like I need to be wearing a jersey every game.
Yeah.
or at least some kind of Flyer shirt. I should have packed one.
Jersey.
I wasn't in Philly, so yeah, jersey or like my Lindblom Oscar Strong shirt. I'm actually wearing that right now. I like to wear that a lot.
Yeah, it's not
Do you
a
have
bad
any
call.
superstitions or?
Not really. I used to wear my Giroux jersey every game, and then I realized it wasn't doing anything, so I stopped doing that. Yeah. I don't.
I actually
I kind of.
I have
One of my
some stuff to say.
superstitions is if I don't watch the game,
They win,
no, they're gonna
they
lose.
lose, so you have to watch. Okay,
Yeah.
so you better be watching every game for the rest of the year, buddy.
I've watched every game, pretty much every game for the past
Good.
5 seasons. So
I
don't know if
very
that's
rarely
working.
miss a hockey game unless there's something I like absolutely have to be at or be doing.
Also, I
don't
watch
miss.
till the final buzzer.
Same.
Even
That's
that
the marker of a true fan.
That 9-0 loss against the Rangers, I watched till the final buzzer.
You watch, yes, and why do you do that?
Because just in case something happens.
Yeah.
But also because this is my choice to watch this game. I'm gonna get everything out of it as I can, and if I'm supposed to be tortured and watch all 60 minutes, I'll do that.
Right. Going off that, I agree. I think this is your team. You need to watch them suffer so that when they're good, it just feels really good because it's all that shit off your shoulders from watching them suck for years. That's one way to go about it. The second, you said it, if something happens. So when I went to the outdoor Flyers game against Pittsburgh at the Link, it was a little rainy and stuff, and the Flyers were down. And of course, so many people left. I had my cousin left, a couple of my friends left the game, and like we all know what happened. You know, they made a historic comeback, and it's arguably probably one of the best games of the past 5, maybe even 10 years, dating back to the Stanley Cup run. I mean, and obviously the game 6, Drew hit on Crosby and scoring within 32 seconds. It's up there.
Yeah.
And Drew is the one that ends it. So you can't leave or turn off the game until the clock hits 0 because you might miss one of the best moments of all time, and you're going to hate yourself for the rest of your life if you do that.
Yep. I mean, if you've been watching this Flyers team for a while, you know they love a empty net comeback with 30 seconds left to tie the game.
That's who they are. It's their
overtime.
identity. They love making comebacks.
Yeah,
It happened in the first game that we were there. They came back and
a bunch of
scored
people
with
from,
like a minute
from our row
left.
left with like 3 minutes left. And
The people right next to us.
They scored 2 goals with like a minute 30 left, and we were like, those people are probably fucking pissed.
Just to beat the traffic. Like, Jesus. Get the fuck out of here, man. I guess we took the train and Uber, so it's not that big of a
we
deal.
were going from the city, so.
Yeah. Do you got anything you want to talk about here?
I don't have much, man. Was just
well,
been excited
let
to
me
be
give-
watching hockey games.
Yeah, I mean, me too. I'm actually going to go back to my jersey thing. It's funny because like you'll see that athletes tend to get superstitious, and I played hockey growing up, and it's funny because when we were making that run 2 years ago in the bubble, when we ended up winning the round robin and being the first ranked team, that season I had gotten the Oscar Strong shirt, and I would wear it like every single game, and I didn't wash it for months because I was like, holy shit, we're winning every single game. So that's just like how deep my superstitions will go. I won't wash a t-shirt and wear it every single game because I think it's going to help them win.
That's kind of gross, man. I think you can wash it.
No, I couldn't because it unwashed was the juju that was helping them win.
Okay.
Do you remember how awesome we were before COVID hit? How crazy we were playing?
Yeah.
That was because of me.
Okay. It's because of your dirty sweater or shirt. That's funny. NHL 22 came out like a couple weeks ago. Been playing that. Been playing Ultimate Team. Got a few Flyers guys on my squad. They got like a special card for Couturier, so I had to get that right away. Got G and Atkinson and Farabee on there, and Provy and Ellis. But let us know, guys, if you want us to start. We can get like an EASHL team together to just play with some of you guys, or we might start up like a Twitch stream or stream on YouTube Live. If you guys would be interested in that and any of the NHL game modes.
I think letting us know, like if you guys are listening and you would tune in to us playing, like even with Dalton, right? Like with your boy Coots.
So we talked about it with Dalton. Me and him have played a bunch in the past, so we might be we have something down the pipeline to.
So I mean, that'd be fun. I mean, and if you guys are gonna listen, we'll do it. We'll probably do it anyway. But
we can set up a tournament even.
Yeah, I mean, would love to interact with some fans.
Yep.
All right, let's wrap this up, baby.
Yeah. So that wraps up this episode of Time My Skates. Please like, comment, and follow on Twitter and Instagram at Time My Skates Pod, and listen anywhere you get your podcasts. I'm Z. He's Drunk Gritty. We'll see you guys next time.